Welcome back to the pop culture discussion. It's me, Robert, and today we are talking about The Last of Us, Episode 4. We get the first sparks of Joel and Ellie's father-daughter relationship in quite possibly the most accurate game to TV episode yet. In case you haven't been watching these every week, I will be doing a spoiler-free review of the episode, then a spoiler-filled discussion. Feel free to watch whatever part of the video you'd like, or both, depending on if you have or haven't seen the episode already. Clicking on this episode was the first time I went into a Last of Us episode with low expectations. I saw that it was 45 minutes long, and I saw that it was rated M. So my first thoughts were, oh, great, we're getting a short episode, and it's M. Are you serious? The game is rated R. Every previous episode has been MA so far. So yeah, I went in with low expectations, but I can happily say that those expectations were blown out of the water. Yes, it is 45 minutes long, but a lot happens. It's very fast-paced storytelling, and although it is only rated M, the violence is still there. Some of it is just implied over showing exactly what happens. So I can happily say there was no reason for my low expectations. We finally get our first true, genuine bonding moments between Joel and Ellie here, which is very heartwarming. It's nice to see these characters bond in a positive way. Like I said in my intro, this is probably the most accurate game to TV episode so far. The amount of Easter eggs and scene-for-scene reenactments in this episode alone is massive. They have grabbed so many parts of the game and put it just into this one episode alone. Yes, there is still a whole heap of brand new storytelling and side characters here. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey just blew it out of the park with this episode. It really was great character arc developments for both of them, both individually and together. Bella Ramsey, her portrayal of Ellie in this episode is legitimately hilarious. I laughed out loud a few times. If you haven't laughed in the show yet, you probably will by this one. Yes, this is a very dark and depressing show, so it is hard to find moments to laugh in, but she brings joy to the show. They've pulled apart from the game and given it to her character already, which does make her funny, and her interactions with Joel are fantastic. We get some intense action sequences in this episode too. Two in particular are pulled literally straight from the game, and they actually combined both of them together to create just one scene in this episode, and it's very well done, super realistic, and you genuinely feel for not only the main characters but for the people that they're fighting. And the dialogue is literally pulled straight from the game as well. It is literally perfected the way they've done this. We get more brand new side characters introduced in the show that weren't in the game to kind of make you understand where every side of these characters are coming from, both heroes and villains, so that when the storytelling happens, you understand why characters are doing what they're doing and people aren't just randomly getting attacked. People have motives here, and it's a form of storytelling that the game didn't have at this point in the story. They do have it later on in the game, but they have dived straight into it in the show, and they are expressing both sides of the story here to the point where, yes, we are on Joel and Ellie's sides. They are the main characters here. But at the same time, all the other human characters they interact with, good or bad, are just as compelling. They've definitely put a whole lot more work into the world building into the show compared to the first game. The world building in the second game is a lot more complex, and I feel like they've probably learnt from that to make sure that they put this in the show. The Last of Us continues to be an absolutely incredible show with amazing performances from our main cast, dialogue ripped straight from the video game, and intense escalating storytelling, but also not missing out on all those heartwarming moments that made the game and this show so great. Discussion time. Spoilers ahead for the entire episode. If you haven't seen it, probably don't watch this part of the video. It was nice to see Joel finally open up to Ellie, especially after his speech at the end of the previous episode with him kind of shutting Ellie down and being like, look, I'm just here to do my job, and you know, that's it. you're nothing more to me than that. And to see him finally open up and to kind of almost see her as a daughter, I wouldn't say it's escalated that far yet, but you can tell that's where his character is going. And the fact that Joel has just lowered his guard around her and they're getting some really cute, funny moments together. We're getting some real top quality performances from both of these actors. If you aren't sold on these actors playing these characters yet, this episode absolutely did it for me. So high chance it's going to do it for you too. I love Ellie's cute little pun book that's pulled straight from the game. I love that they've put it into the show already. Here's a question though. Why did Joel only grab a rifle when he had an entire arsenal that he could have grabbed from Bill's? Literally, there's an entire wall full of weapons, and in this episode, he's just got a rifle. I'm kind of like, okay, sure, it's realistic. He's got his knife, he's got his pistol, and he's got a rifle. But like, maybe fill up the car with a few more things. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, if I had that many weapons in the apocalypse, probably would have taken some more. But, you know, that's just me. I think combining the car crash sequence and Ellie getting her first kill from the game into one scene from the show, I think that was actually a really smart call from the writer's point of view. It just creates escalating storytelling and just combines it all into one and just gets all of these important scenes done together in one hit and can just excel the character development for both Joel and Ellie. They have pulled the goons begging for their life and screaming, "Oh my god, they killed Jeff," or whatever, like straight from the game. Playing that in the game makes the game feel so much more realistic. So when it's in the show, because the show is even more realistic than the game, it makes the show even more realistic as well. But for people who haven't played the game, this is literally straight from the game. Like the calling out to their friends, realizing they're dead, and then also like when they're injured and they're begging for their life, straight from the game. And it hits even harder in the show. The fact that this kid gets shot in the back and now he's paralyzed. I'm like, oh damn, like that. Oh man, like I know he's the bad guy, but far out, they make you feel pretty bad for him. So when Joel kills him, you're like, dude, like I kind of understand why this crew, after finding his dead body, now want to hunt down and kill Joel and Ellie. Like the show is doing such a good job at showing you the situation from everyone's point of view. Okay, so that floor moving thing and they're freaking out about, that's got to be a bloater, right? That's got to be. You know, if you've seen the trailer, it's gotta be. So what, next episode, we're getting not only Henry and Sam, we're getting a bloater all in the same episode? That's gonna be crazy. Like, yeah, this next episode is gonna go off. If you haven't played the game and you don't know what a bloater is, it's basically just like one of the worst infected things you can find in the game. Just a train of a man coming at you that's infected, and they're super scary. So get that to look forward to. There's just so many great scene for scene reenactments in this episode. So many. Easily the most so far for one episode. Even just the scene where like Joel boosts Ellie up through the window and she opens the door, and his reaction and all of that whole just little segment, scene for scene reenactment. Speaking of scene for scene reenactments though, they did swap out Joel's "it was either him or me" line from the game when Ellie gets her first kill, for Joel apologizing to Ellie for having to shoot someone at her age. And it was a really heartfelt and nice moment, and you could tell that he was trying, and then Ellie just calling him out on it, being like, yeah, you suck at this, and he's like, I know, but this is like, I'm trying, man. So just top quality performances and writing all round from the cast and crew here. So Ellie has finally realized how dangerous Joel really is after him knowing immediately that that guy wasn't injured and to just drive straight through that ambush. And that scene, again, is another scene for scene reenactment. Same dialogue, same location on the stairs, just perfected. I actually really like Joel's realistic aging and injuries that he's dealing with. It's something that the game obviously couldn't really do because you're in control of this absolute beast of a man that is just a one-man army just killing everyone. But then in the show, he shows that, you know, he's running out of energy, he needs his sleep, he's gone deaf in one ear from firing guns for years. It makes for a much more compelling performance from Pedro Pascal. It was so nice to see Joel laugh. I honestly didn't think we'd get a smile from this guy this early into the show after everything that he's been through. Just to see all the walls that he built up in the first episode and how tough and rough and brutal he was, and just to see him like slowly pull these walls down around Ellie and to show some positive and nice emotions around her. It was really nice. Well done to Ellie for making him laugh. And what was that ending? Henry and Sam, amazing. I cannot wait for the next episode to see these boys in action. Honestly, it's gonna be an emotional one. Next episode is gonna hit hard. Last episode made us cry. This episode made us laugh. The next one will make us cry, for sure. Oh, it's gonna hit hard. But I'm really excited to see what they do with those characters. I was not unsatisfied with any scene in this episode. It was top quality, amazing acting and character development for our main characters, and I cannot wait for next week with Henry and Sam. And it's got to be uploaded down there, so, you know, it's going to go off next week. Thank you for watching my review and discussion of The Last of Us Episode 4. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Have you played the game? Did you pick up all the little Easter eggs and reenactments? What did you think of this episode? Did you prefer last week's episode or did you prefer this week's episode? Both episodes are completely different. Are you as excited as me for next week's episode with the amount of cliffhangers they gave us at the end of this episode? In saying all that, thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.